Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the witnesses for testifying today. You know, an estimated 1.8 million Ohioans, my home state, are living below the poverty line, and we know the best way out of poverty is a job. Poverty in my home state of Ohio has increased by approximately 58% over the last decade, despite a stagnant population and a whole host of federal programs created to end this cycle of poverty. We must find ways to address our struggling economy, improve our educational system and workforce training programs, and connect individuals to temporary resources they really need to succeed. Included in the 2012 unemployment insurance reforms, the Department of Labor was granted waiver authority in the UI program. These waivers would allow states to operate demonstration projects to test alternative means of helping the unemployed return to work, including the concept we are talking about today, subsidized jobs. Since this waiver policy was enacted in February 2012, only Texas has applied for waiver, and its application was swiftly denied. States have described the application process created by the Department of Labor as onerous and time-consuming. This Congress, I worked with the Department of Labor to introduce H.R. 3864, the Flexibility to Promote Reemployment Act, a bill that extends the UI waiver authority and provides greater flexibility to states to use existing UI dollars on programs that help the unemployed collect paychecks instead of benefit checks. Ms. Dvorak and Mr. Doerr, your program has been successful in connecting individuals with limited labor force attachments to jobs. Would your program be successful in connecting individuals with greater labor force attachment, like current UI recipients who were previously employed, to jobs?
Many of our clients have, they've let their unemployment run out. They got their extensions, they let their unemployment run out, and then they've come to us. And it's very difficult for them because, they're very rigid, and, this is how much I'm going to accept per hour. I'm not going to work for less. These are the skills I have, and they're very adamant. Well, one of the big pieces about the Pivot program is it's not a standalone program. It's not okay that they're not in a work activity. They have to go somewhere every day and be in a work activity, which goes hand in hand with them also working with a job developer and looking for work. So it's really the whole piece with Pivot. It isn't just that, it's not just looking for work, it's doing the work activity, whether they need a GED, whether they go to the work activity and work in community projects. We also have a project in our parks, which are the Olmsted Parks in Buffalo. But it's dealing with the whole person and the whole piece, and it is all tied in to getting them back into the workforce. And there is a lot of resistance there, but having said that, you've got to work with them and get them back into the workforce. So they're mandated to do a work activity.
Mr. Doerr, do you have any?
Our experience in New York was with welfare recipients who come to the TANF program or the General Assistance Program that existed in New York City. And the one-stops that were under the WIA program dealt more with people who were on UI. And so I can't really speculate on what would happen if in an unemployment insurance program greater flexibility was provided to a locality. But the previous spokesman was right. It is in some respects a different population and may need different approaches.
Yeah. Both of your programs, in your testimony, you describe your experience connecting individuals with subsidized or transitional jobs in the TANF program. What were really some of the common reasons that individuals were unsuccessful in finding employment?
Well, we had a benefit in New York City of having a very vibrant entry-level employment situation for all of the time that I was there, including during the recession. So the opportunities were there, and that was a good thing. I think the principal reason people had trouble is one of two factors. One is they were weak on soft skills and the sort of requirements of the daily rigor of work, and they weren't prepared and ready to step up to that responsibility, and they needed some assistance in getting there.
So not to interrupt you, but in that case, it's not that they weren't trained, or was training an issue too?
Well, again, there are a lot of opportunities in the entry-level position. And then the second would be there were language barriers and literacy barriers. I mean, if I would say that was one that was the most significant, that would be it.
Thank you. My time is